Good evening all and welcome to another video on All Hail the Ale. It's Friday night, which means it's alcohol-free night, and the beer we're going for tonight is a bit of an old enemy. We're doing a bit of a rewind and we're revisiting this one. It is St. Peter's Without. And why do I class this one as the old enemy? Well, as my YouTube status update suggested, it's arguably the worst tasting alcohol-free beer that's passed my lips to date. And I see a lot of people on various social media saying that this is their favourite beer. So I'm revisiting it tonight, a couple of years at least after I first tried it, just to see if my first experience was as bad as it perhaps seemed. So to give you a bit of a recap of what I thought of it last time, it tasted like liquid Weetabix, which, don't get me wrong, if you like Weetabix, it's great, and I do, as a breakfast cereal, but not necessarily as a beer. It had a very distinct, unpleasant flavour for my palate at the time when I tried it. And it describes itself as rich and malty tasting, bursting with lasting flavour. And it did last. Initial impressions lasted a very long time, and it was earlier this week that I decided I'm going to revisit it and see what's what. So let's revisit the ingredients list, which says it's got water, malted barley, rye and hops. That's it. Really simple ingredients. It's brewed in Suffolk. Yeah, near Bungay, as it happens. And yeah, it's completely alcohol-free and vegan. Not that that matters, but yeah. Is it as bad as I thought? Shall we find out? So I know last time I did it, I didn't have my current scoring system in place, which was a little bit more, back then it was very much more personal. You know, I chose my score based on my thoughts as opposed to being objective. So hopefully this time it'll score something. Anyway, we're going to pour into my AF Beer Club glass, and the pour is brown, twiggy brown. Let's try and get some head. That's what she said. Twiggy brown, amber, I suppose, if you will. Off-white head. Looks all right, doesn't it? It does. Are the looks going to be deceiving? You know, apart from a few extra bubbles on my glass, which I'm not so keen on. It looks the part. I like it. It looks like a bitter of old. So, yeah, let's have a whiff. Does it smell like it used to? Yes, it does. And the aroma, it is very malty, and it reminds me of Saurine, which I love. I love Saurine. It's got that fruity malty vibe, which, again, for something you're going to eat, it's a nice smell. But for beer, it doesn't smell like a beer. So if you like Saurine and raisins, that malty, stodgy, super sweet aroma, then you're going to love it. So yeah, it looks good. Can't deny that. It smells like Saurine. See what it tastes like. Cheers. Okay, we're going to comment on the body first, which is decent. It's medium weight. Soft carbonation, very soft. And the flavour is still not to my liking. It's crazy sweet. It is malty. There's no getting away from that. It is a malt forward beer, but the flavour doesn't work for me. It's got Saurine vibe throughout. It has that Weetabix thing, that kind of brown, twiggy vibe, and then just bucket loads of sugar. In fact, I've got to check that. Carbohydrate 6.2 grams per 100 ml, of which sugar 2.6. So that's reasonably high. Yeah, even though it's low calories per 100 ml, 26 calories per 100 ml. A lot of that is going to come from the sugary sweet content. But yes, it's a real sweet sugary malt with that saurine vibe behind it. And here we go. I'm struggling, I'm going to be honest. The finish is all sugar, and I don't mind a sweet beer when it's fruity, tropical, but when it's intensely malty like this, I need some bitterness to combat that. And this is far, far too sweet. One last one. Yeah. Not for me. Not for me. So, we're going to go to the scoreboard of joy, which currently has that on it. And we're going to fill it in. So, let's revisit the pour, just because we're going to be fair. So the pour, it pours a lovely colour. It's a nice twiggy brown colour, and when it's initially poured you get a nice off-white head. That is very reminiscent of the kind of bitters that I grew up drinking, and I like the looks, I do. And that, excuse me ladies and gents, boys and girls, is where it's going to score its points. Visually, I like the look. It's getting a full point for the look. Aroma, it's saurine, liquidized saurine with a hint of Weetabix, which, when you're drinking a beer, is not what I'm looking for. It's sweet, it's sickly, it's stodgy. No, I don't like that. I don't, I'm sorry. It's rare that I hold that kind of level of dislike for beer, I'm going to be honest. The body, again, I can't fault the body. It's medium weight, it's super soft carbonation. I like that. It's having a point for that. There's nothing I dislike about the body and carbonation and mouthfeel overall. Nothing to dislike. Taste, again. You saw my face quite clearly. I'm not a fan of that flavour at all. It is malty, yes. It tastes like someone stuck saurine through a blender and added sugar. And I know taste is subjective, and I'm trying really hard to be objective here and find something I like, and unfortunately I don't. I don't like the saurine flavour. I don't like the sugary sweetness. There's, for me, unfortunately, there's no redeeming factors there, so it's having a 0 for that as well. And the finish, it's all sugar, and not in a good way. It's like someone has taken, do you remember those sugar crystals you used to be able to buy? Not the cubes, not the granulated stuff, but the sugar crystals. It reminds me of that. And if I was eating sugar crystals, I'd be happy. But I'm drinking a beer. I want some redeeming factor. I want that hop bitterness. I want that nice twiggy brown malt to shine through. And all I'm getting is sugar. And it's not good. So it's got a 0 on that front as well. So bonus points time. It cannot have the full bonus because it didn't get 5 out of 5. Indeed, it didn't get anywhere near it. Value for money. It cost me, what did this cost me in Tesco? I think it was £1.50. Which, if you like it, it's reasonably priced for a 500ml bottle. If you don't, it's not good value for money. And for me, it's not good value for money because I've got to like it to some degree. I've got to like it in the areas that matter, and it's got none of the points in the areas that actually matter. And would I buy it again? Well, I probably would never have bought it again before if it wasn't for my curiosity getting the better of me to see if my tastes originally have changed. And no, I will not be buying this one again. So, St. Peter's Without has scored 2 out of 5 with 0 bonus points. So, if you are a fan of liquidized saurine with a little bit of Weetabix on the side, then this is a beer for you. I'm really interested in hearing people's experiences with this beer. Am I alone in tasting these food-based notes? Am I the odd one out? Do other people agree? And here's the interesting thing: St. Peter's can make great beer. I've had some of it. Their fruited porter, superb, really nice. But this one, it is without. Unfortunately, it's without alcohol. It's without things that I like. But don't let that put you off. If you haven't tried it, if you like them a little bit sweet and sugary and saurine with Weetabix on the side tasting, then this is one for you to try. And we're going to leave it there and say, that's been the beer. I've been me. Those down there are the buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You've got your like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. Choose any combination of them as you wish. And I will see you again soon for another one. Bye for now.